May I come in, sir?
Kamraj.
Good afternoon, sir.
Raj, see, this is not an interview. I'm just here to guide you for your interview. Okay? So feel free, ask any question, any doubt that you have in mind. Is this your first interview?
No, sir, this is my second interview.
You gave it last year also?
Yes, sir.
And how much did you score?
So only 154.
This is out of 300?
No, 275.
Out of the same as UPSC.
Yes, sir.
So what went wrong in the interview?
So my interview was only around 4 to 5 minutes, and
Only 45?
yes, sir. And most of the questions, the first question they ask about what is the difference between undernutrition and malnutrition. Second question came that the how money for Nobel Prize came, and what is Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, and who are the awardees, and tell me about the BMI, and specifically they ask about the BMI ranges.
You are a student of?
Zoology, sir.
So that's why they asked this question.
Most of the but some of the questions that I do not. I have not studied because I don't know about specifically the BMI range. I know about the origin of species, which I have said, but the interview was not done.
I'm surprised because usually in interviews, they don't assess you on the basis of your information or knowledge, because knowledge they have assessed in the written exam. This surprises me that they assessed you on the basis of your lack of awareness on certain issues. Usually they don't do that. Yours was you were very unlucky. It won't happen again, because they don't assess you on the basis of factual information. That's the mandate. There could be somebody sitting here who is not aware of the mandate. They are not supposed to be assessing you on fact. The assessment is actually based on your understanding, your expression, your positivity, your attitude, your inclination. These are things that are assessed, not through BMI index. If you don't know and they give you poor marks, it doesn't work that way. Anyway, it happens sometimes. I'm sure it won't happen this time. So don't worry on that front. It happened last time. Any other issue that you have in mind?
Sir, first thing, sir, I was not very good in zoology. But if this time they again ask the same zoology question, if I can't handle, then how to escape from that?
Don't escape. Say no. See, this is very surprising. How they assessed you last time is very surprising. It's unusual. No one is expected to know everything about everything. So take this out of your mind, that what will happen if I don't have an answer to the question. And I'll give you my own example, and this is UPSC, Government of India. I got the highest in interview in my second interview. And 25% question I said, I don't know, sir. Well, I don't know. It's as simple as that. I'm not supposed to know everything. So if you don't know an answer, don't try and guess. Say, sir, if they ask you a question on zoology, tell them, sir, I studied it in 22. So thereafter I have not revised, or it's very difficult for me to recall what I studied. As simple as that. That's a good answer, actually. You are not fibbing or trying to answer any question. You don't have no answer. What you know, you should be able to answer well. That is the effort that you should put. And I've yet to come across anybody who knows answers to every question. So take that off your mind. Last year's interview, I think that was an exception. If you done your written exam well, you should do well in interview also. Because your articulation is fairly good. You are able to express yourself. Where did you do your master's in zoology? Cotton University. Okay. Any other question before I tell you what else you should do?
Sir, most of the questions that I have asked about the zoology, and if they ask anything related to other things which I don't know, then can I say that, sir, I don't know, so I have to read about it? Or
no, don't say I have to read about it. Say I don't know.
Okay.
You don't know, you don't know. Why should you say I have to read about it? Okay. Just say, sir, I'm sorry, sir, I don't know. I said that repeatedly. I don't know, sir, I don't know, so I don't know. What do I do? I'll tell you what to prepare. When is your interview?
So my interview is on 18th of November.
So there are only 3 days.
Yes, sir.
So 3 days is not a big time, but I'll tell you what to do in 3 days. After I've heard your problems, then I'll tell you what to do in next 3 days. You're through? Another question?
No.
First of all, don't feel burdened about the failure last year. It is an exception, I'm telling you. It's an exception. It won't happen again. I can guarantee it. You can call me and tell me, sir, you were right. They didn't ask. There was no such thing as that. So don't worry on that. Second, since you feel burdened by that, the look on your face is a nervous one.
Yes, sir.
So get that off and smile. It's happened, so happened.
Yes.
I mean, there are not many people who qualified twice for interview I've seen. You're the first person since morning. Everyone has failed in mains, and then this year is the first time they are coming. You are the first person, maybe second person, one more person has come before you, who qualified twice. So that's a very good achievement to have qualified twice for the mains exam. So take pride in that and feel happy about it. It happens in life. And it is how you define failure. I defined failure by not getting into as in the first year I got into police service. So I thought it was a failure, but I never was cowed down by that failure. It failed, now it will succeed. So you have to build that confidence in yourself.
So
And
first,
say you,
first
you
time I failed after doing all those hard works. And
so don't worry. See, it happens in everyone's life. Who hasn't failed? Everyone fails at some point in time. It's not unusual to fail. Have you come across anybody who hasn't ever failed in his life? Almost everyone fails. So you failed also. So what? So you learn. What do you learn? Last time they asked you certain questions based on zoology. So you can visualize questions that could be asked around zoology. They will not ask you on zoology. BMI, the index BMI we talk of, is nothing to do with zoology. Everyone, common man, should understand what BMI is all about. You may still not know. Fair enough.
I have said that what is BMI body mass index, and what it calculates, and but they asked that my BMI is 30. Can you tell me what I am suffering from, or similar that question?
So if you know it, tell it. If you don't know it, you don't tell it. What was the other question they asked, which you didn't have an answer to?
So what is the difference between undernutrition and malnutrition? And I know about the Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award, but they asked the name of the recipient of Shanti Swarup Bhatnagar Award in that year.
So these are factual questions. I'm surprised why they assessed you on a factual question. Because someone has won or not won. Normally assessment is on values, on subjective discussion, not on factual details. Whether you are aware of, some stupid fellow must have been sitting here. They don't assess on facts. They're not supposed to assess on facts. But now the whole world has moved ahead because these facts are available here. All facts, you go to Google and you get to know. Why should you memorize those facts? But you must understand BMI, because BMI is not a fact. It's something which has come in recent. It impacts health. But whether A has won Bhatnagar Award or B has won, how does it make a difference? It doesn't make any difference. I would rate them very poorly rather than rating you poorly. It's the wrong question to ask. So don't worry on that front. I would assume they will not talk on zoology. Because unless some zoologist is sitting here, you would have, despite your ignorance, you will have more knowledge than those people in zoology. But zoology related issues that are current today, you should know. So, for example, not directly with you, you must know about environment. There is COP29 happening.
Yes, sir.
Environment is an issue. So, my suggestion to you would be, in the next 2-3 days, read the newspapers properly. Because that is where most of the questions are going to emerge. And if there is any issue relating to zoology in the past 2-3 months, brush up your understanding of those issues. Then secondly, again, zoology, environment, the threat to the flora and fauna in Assam, that you should have some idea. What is the threat? What is the threat to rhinos? Not directly related to zoology, but somewhat. So anything that relates to your state in the context of zoology, you should try and brush up. Not zoology itself. What is the zoological name of, say, a toad?
And they asked last
So
year.
they will ask such a stupid question, but if you remember, you say. If you don't remember, that doesn't reflect any on your personality. If you forget the name of the zoological name of a toad or an insect or a mosquito, there would be a zoological name, but you're not supposed to remember everything. So I don't think you should worry about that. But zoology as applied to the state of Assam, to the country as a whole, those aspects you should know. That because is expected of a common man also, not with zoology, but anyone who studied zoology related questions to current affairs, you should brush up your knowledge. See, other thing, so you are reasonably articulate, you are able to express yourself, which not everyone has that. So you have that art of articulation. So I mean, I'm surprised the marks that you got. You should get more, and I'm sure you'll get it more this year. So go with that confidence. Don't feel nervous about what happened last year. I can guarantee you'll get better marks this year. Guarantee. So feel comfortable and do that. Then you should work on, in next 2-3 days, on issues and problems relating to the district where you come from.
Lakhimpur.
Yeah, what are the local issues, local problems, and you should have some idea of the possible solutions. You need not give a full-fledged explanation of what are the solutions to the problem, but some idea you should have. So if flooding is a problem, you should know what are the primary causes of flooding there, and if flooding has to stop or mitigated the impact, what all needs to be done. So you're not expected again to provide the final solution to the problem. It's a very, very long ranging problem. It's been there for donkey's years. Not easy solutions, but you should be a thinking person being able to suggest solutions to it. Huh? Similarly, the state level problems, especially current issues, migration problem, flooding problem. What are the possible solutions? You should have some idea if the government has taken some action.
So can I tell them about the wetland reconstruction program which recently the Assam government along with the central government they are going to apply? Can I?
Yes, why not? You should say that this is the problem,
Yes, sir.
this is the cause of the problem, these are the steps that have already been taken, and these are the steps that can be taken in future.
Yes, sir.
Structure your answer. Because they're looking at structuring of your answer, your manner of your presentation, your approach. That is more that they should be looking at. I mean, I'm surprised they looked at what they looked at last year, but that's not the way interviews are done. That's not. Then you should also look at the problems with the adjoining states and countries. So, problem with Bangladesh, problem with Arunachal Pradesh, problem with Nagaland. All these problems you should be conversant with. Anyone appearing in the civil service should know what are the major issues with Nagaland, Arunachal Pradesh, what is the status, and what is the possible solution.
Yes.
So that is something which you have to value add by saying, as per your limited understanding of the issue, these are the possible solutions. It depends on how you present. You should not appear to be saying that you have solutions to the problems, but you should be able to indicate that on the basis of the knowledge that you have, this is what is the possible way forward. So there could be a difference of opinion. So don't take it otherwise if there's a difference of opinion, because that's very natural. One have one point of view, the other person has another point of view. So I have looked at these preparations or these interviews in two forms. One, they ask you factual questions. If you don't know the answer, say polite no. The other is when they ask you of your views on that particular issue. Now there again, your views will depend on your understanding or the factual details of the issue. If in a certain case you don't have the factual details, you can admit and say, I don't know. In some cases you will have, but still you should say, sir, on the basis of limited information that I have, or on the basis of my understanding, this is the possible way forward. This is not the way forward, this is the possible way forward. Why? Because at your age, you can't come to conclusions. You can say this is the possibility, maybe some more information comes to your knowledge, then you will probably change your view. But on the basis of information you have, this is the conclusion that you arrive at. So, presenting the issue is very important. Next 2-3 days, relax. Forget the last year's interview. Don't live in that interview. Because you live, you'll feel nervous. It has happened. I can guarantee to you. You ring me up after 3 days. When is your interview? 18th, you said.
18th.
I'm leaving on 18th evening. You take my phone number and message me. Sir, this is what you told me. This is what they asked. Okay. Or you can call me. You take down my number.
So,
You take my number from them.
yes.
You tell them that I have told you. You must tell me, because I also want to learn whether my understanding of the board is correct or wrong. Because I would not believe that they would ask you factual after factual questions. If they ask you biological or zoological name of an animal, I mean, they can ask. It's not that they should not ask, but they should not be assessing you on the basis of these. But if you are not aware of things happening around you now, that's a problem. But zoological name you would have learned 3-4 years ago. You're not supposed to remember that. If you remember, fair enough. So don't worry on the factual part, but awareness part is very important. If you're not aware of what is happening around you, then there's an issue. Anyone appearing for civil service should be aware of the issue. Right? What are your hobbies?
So I like to watch cricket.
Okay, so of course they don't mention it here, but if they ask you, you can say you would watch cricket. And then other questions will emerge out of it. Isn't it a waste of time and things like that? You should be able to answer that. You have not been employed anywhere? Have you worked anywhere?
No, sir.
Okay. I think you should do well. I have no doubt. Ring me up on 18th or message me on 18th. Right?
Yes.
All the best.
Thank you, sir.
Take care and keep smiling. Last year was an exception. Don't worry about it.